When it comes to poultry, some people prefer to go for 2 months old chicks, or some go for 1 month old chicks, or some go for 1 day old chick. For those who go for 1 day old chick, that means they're going to do brooding at your farm. Like for us at Cake Poultry Farm, we do brooding of 1 day old chick at our farm. So we raise our chicken from day 1 old. So we'll be showing you the steps of brooding at our farm. This video is basically good for those who have the structure in place, equipments like drinkers, feeders, water, biosecurity. All at your farm is very well equipped. But in case you don't have all the above mentioned, feel free to watch over this video where we have done illustration about how to prepare for someone who wants to start a poultry farm with 1 day old chick. Going for brooding, the steps that it takes to raise the birds at your farm. So let's assume you have the structure in place. How should your structure be framed? Number 1, make sure the structure is very well enclosed such that you regulate and maintain the temperature inside the brooder. That means you have to close it up either with a tarpaulin, or sometimes you can use polythene papers such that much air is not coming in for you to regulate the temperature in the house or in the brooder house. Number 2, make sure there is brooder paper laid on the floor of your structure or of your brooder. In that, why we do the brooder paper is to make sure that when the birds come or the young chicks come, it's easy to monitor how they are catching up with their droppings. How is the droppings like when they start eat food? Because it's easy for you to monitor and see the dropping is good or it has some kind of a problem. Let's say there is one dropping that has blood. It's easier for you to detect when there is the brooder paper on the floor. After the brooder paper is put, then placing the pots or the stove that has fire, which has to generate the heat in that house or in the brooder section such that there is enough heat before the birds come. Remember, we do this before 1 or 2 hours before the birds come in. Then after that, make sure you press in or you put in the drinkers that have water which is mixed with glucose in it. Remember, the purpose for the glucose is to boost their energy, because at times when they are coming, they are in movement. So when you put the glucose in the water, glucose helps them to regain the energy and also gives them appetite to consume the time for food when it comes. So when you put in the drinkers with water, bring in the birds, give 1 hour for the birds or for the chicks to drink the water before introducing in the food or the starter pellet for the birds. The reason for that is we want them to consume the water and soften the intestinal digestion such that they prepare their digestion. The water prepares their digestion so that when they eat that pellet or starter pellet for that's their food, they don't get constipation or they don't find it hard for them to digest, because we already have the water in their body. So sometimes people, you mess up and bring your birds, immediately you put in the food. That is not right. Your birds or your chicks are going to suffer from constipation, and at the end of the day you might die, or you might go to incur other costs of buying treatment and everything. So when you bring in your 1 day old chick, bring in the water, let them take the water for 1 hour. Then after that, introduce the food for them to start eating. For example, here is a structure where we're doing our brooding from, and our birds are already in. You can see the setup of the drinkers, the pots. The house is well enclosed to maintain the heat or the temperature of the room, and the birds are lively. They can see the brooder paper is well pressed down for easy monitoring of the dropping. So this is how the setup is supposed to be for whoever is going to do 1 day old chick at his farm. To want to maintain the temperature in the brooder house, you should have either hot pots that have charcoal and fire in them, or you can have electricity, or some can have the pressure pumps. All those are good components to produce heat that can give temperature or warmth to the birds in your brooder. So you can either use pots that have charcoal in them, or use the pressure pumps, or you can use electricity that has those bulbs that have or that produce some much heat on them to give warmth to your birds. Yeah, at times when the brooder, or when there is too much heat in the brooder, automatically there are changes that you will see with the birds. One, the birds will feel uncomfortable. They are going to be, one day you see the birds are all panting. What I mean is, you see most of them, they are opening their mouth, their beaks are open, and their wings are widespread, because that will mean that it's too much heat. Remember, it is supposed to be regulated approximately 32 to 35 degrees Celsius. That should be the temperature. So when you see the birds changes in that way, just know that it's too much heat, and perhaps even you, the person doing the brooder, because you are in the brooder house, you are able to feel there is much heat. So you automatically have to reduce, and you see the birds becoming normal. Two, at times the birds are not lively. They are not praying, they are not moving around, they are actually scattered in different spaces. So just know that when they are not praying, moving around, making movements, there is uncomfort for them. Just know that there is too much heat in their house or in the brooder. When the brooder is too cold, or there is no much or no good heat, you will see your birds or your chicks are converging in one space or in one corner, meaning they are trying to generate warmth for them, like how you see an old bird trying to cover its young one. So you will see them trying to hatch themselves in one corner. Just know that there is no good temperature, or there is coldness they are feeling. Two, you will see them trying to shiver, like as if they have been rained on by the rain. So just know that there is little warmth or no good heat or temperature for the birds to be lively. So when you see them merging themselves in one corner, automatically know that there is some heat or some temperature lacking to make it normal. Automatically, when they merge themselves in one corner or pile themselves in one corner, you will find yourself losing some birds, because they are trying to pile on each other. Remember, they are very young, and automatically you lose some of these birds. So make sure that there is normal heat temperature in the house, such that the birds are scattered all over your brooder house. There you know that the temperature is normal and the birds are very okay. So another thing to take note of is lighting. In your brooder section or in your brooder house, make sure, and it's a must, that lighting should be on 24 hours, either day or night. Remember, we have closed part of this structure or part of the house, so the light inside must be on 24 hours, day and night. Make sure you have, if you have solar, you can use solar. If you have umeme, electricity, use electricity or use umeme. But also you should have a standby generator for, depending on what is convenient. But why we say that is, in case power umeme goes off, the solar has not worked, generator must be at a standby, such that you don't have darkness, let's say at night, in your brooder or in your house. Because when there is darkness, these birds are going to pile themselves in one corner. The darkness is going to scare them, and at the end of the day, they will pile, suffocate, and you will make losses. They will die. That is from day one, even up to 2 months. the light must be in the house, especially at night, because they are still also not good enough to spread themselves when it comes at night. So they need to be in light 24/7 or 24 hours. It's not only about having the light inside them, but even remember that in the brooder, the worker or the person taking charge of the brooder must be in the house at night, even during the day, because at night, as some of them, they take time to rest. You don't want them to pile themselves. So the worker or the person in charge must be in the brooder section, in the brooder house, to keep moving around, dispatching them that wants to pile themselves. So make sure that the worker is in the brooder house 24/7 for you not to make losses or have mortalities at your farm or in the brooder house. When it comes to feeding in the brooder section, you don't have to regulate the feeding, because remember, these are young chicks. They need to eat and gain energy and grow. So at that point, when someone starts to brood, give them food consecutively. When the feeders are empty, put for them food for them to eat until almost 3 or 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months, you can start feeding them maybe 3 times a day, but make sure there is food consecutively in their feeders and water is constant in the drinkers, flowing all the time. Because in that, you want to raise them with enough energy, with enough weight, because you are looking at production, if they are for egg production. And if they are for meat production, approximately you have to feed them consecutively for you to gain enough weight for the kilograms of the birds that you have to sell. So for the egg production, if you underfeed them when they are still young, they might cost you, or they might take long for you to see the results of egg production almost up to 7 months. Yet if you feed them very well, 4 months, 5, you are expected to be having eggs in your house. So consistent feeding when they are still young, from day 1 to 3 months, is paramount, should not be compromised in the brooding section. Those are the things one needs to undergo while preparing to do brooding of 1-day-old chick. Those are the things one needs to be doing while brooding at the poultry farm. For more tips on poultry farming, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel such that you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And if you have any question about poultry farming, feel free to throw it in the comment section such that we respond to you about poultry farming. Happy farming!